what will never be the same again once the pandemic is over. Hopefully your boss will finally admit that all his dumb meetings actually could have been emails all along. Obliviousness to how many things I touched between hand washings. My attitude towards my entertainment backlog. Previously I used to look at my PlayStation library or my Netflix list and think, if I just had a few weeks off, I could make a serious dent. I've had more than a few weeks off and my backlog seems if anything more endless. I'll probably be in the retirement home with that little voice in the back of my head going, Peaky Blinders is meant to be good, should get on that. Standing next to someone after they sneeze. As a nursing assistant, I will be forever oh so hesitant to get near someone, particularly the elderly who like to cough directly at you. Without my eye shield and mask, I am afraid that a lot of karaokes and spas in our country will go out of business. Shopping will continue to be mostly online and malls will likely die out faster than they were already going to. Food delivery just being dropped off on your doorstep. Remember when you had to go outside and make eye contact like some kind of person? No more, my friends. Just leave it outside and I'll get it when I'm ready. No more scrambling to find pants when you're half-baked and hungry. My faith in humanity. Blowing out the candles on your birthday cake. I have the impression that people have shown their worst part and this will have consequences for long time. Movies. Unfortunately. Cinema specifically. I'm sure a lot of production companies will take enormous losses or possibly file bankruptcy as no one is paying to go see movies anymore. The other issue being that no one can really make movies at the moment either. Travel bans all over, logistic issues, actors not able to be within close proximity to one another, and then all the post-production work that, for the most part can't be done from home. Little to no support for creative arts jobs from governments around the globe. Artists encouraged to retrain in other sectors. It's devastating. Hopefully working from home, WFH, will become more of a normal thing, and companies will have much smaller offices. The phrase, avoid it like the plague, turns out people don't do that. Video games. They feel like they did when I was a teenager again. Usually I feel guilty that I'm not doing something more productive, but right now I could care less about spending a whole weekend doing almost nothing but playing video games. Fewer weddings, more elopements. Hopefully frequent hand washings will become the norm, and hand sanitizers in shops, restaurants and public spaces. As someone who refuses to touch food if I haven't washed my hands, I am emetophobic. I'm terrified of the stomach flu. This endless supply everywhere I go is really nice, and people who usually don't care about washing their hands do it more often. I've enjoyed the solitude of not having so many social obligations. Once this is all over, I'll have to go back to being the asshole that lies about not feeling well to get out of them. Snow days for school. Edit Typha Doots. This is highest doots ever for me. Smiley face. Literally this morning, our local paper reported that the government is aiming to achieve full internet coverage throughout Indonesia, reaching even the remote villages by 2024. We had a local meme as our boomer minister said a few years back, something in the line of, why do we need strong internet access? It took the poor stealing smartphones for the sole purpose of letting their kids attend online classes to convince them. So the answer to the question is, some boomers' view on the value of internet accessibility. I think masks are going to become standard in hospitals or when someone is sick. Other than that, I think life will be almost the same within 5 years. My social life. I thought I had friends, but I've had 0 conversations with him since the pandemic shut schools down in March. And from what I've seen, I'm not the only one. Lots of people are finding out that their friends aren't actually their friends. It's kind of a depressing realization. Honestly. From now on, I will never not wear a mask when sick. I don't care if it's a tiny cold. If I so much as have the sniffles, I'm wearing a mask. It's honestly just common courtesy that I should have done for my whole life. I really hope people will keep wearing masks on public transport. At the least I'll keep wearing mine. I used to get so many colds, but now I'm not on packed trains. I haven't caught a single sniffle. Germophobia now becoming socially accepted and even encouraged. Thank goodness I got therapy for my germophobia years ago. Else I'd be feeling so validated right now. I'd probably justify never leaving my house, never breathing unfiltered air, and never touching something with bare hands ever again. I often wonder what my therapist who helped cure me would be thinking right now. Scary time to be alive. Childhood development theories. We now have an entire group of children who have missed what are regarded as developmental milestones. Learning to play cooperatively with others. Learning to share. Empathy building, etc. It will be very interesting to see the research coming out over the next decade or so. My respect for 20% plus of the population. It's really easy right now to tell who's a complete asshole. I'm hoping that this convinces the American. Pretty much everyone else has this figured out already. Masses that healthcare is a human right and should not be tied to employment. The pandemic has shown that plenty of people lose their jobs through no fault of their own, despite their best efforts, and that should not condemn them to either going without healthcare or accumulating crippling debt when they lose their health insurance coverage. Dating is going to get even more app-related, which isn't good for most people, honestly. Especially if people work at home more and don't go out for entertainment. I hope meetings like school board, PTA, church organizations, etc. will continue to at least have a Zoom option, if not stay entirely online. Our local school board has had about 10x their normal turnout for the meetings since they moved online. Part of that was all of the uncertainty over the plans for this fall, but a lot was also that people are willing to watch a school board meeting from their couch but not leave the house in the evening to go to one. Well, that the majority have shown their true colors. Can't unring that bell. Seeing people's faces in public indoor places without masks. It feels like seeing someone's exposed butthole right now. My mask basket by the door. Porn. God. The plague and fetish mask categories will pop off once people get over COVID and start being horny again. It's 2025. The COVID-27 virus reached its final, most devastating form, capable of infecting and spreading to all living organisms. The virus laid waste to every country, engulfing our planet in a vast, never-ending sandstorm born from the life we once cherished. Every day is a struggle. What are you doing? Step bro. Quote. Small restaurants will be closed for good. A lot of the hole-in-the-wall restaurants with the most amazing food will be closed forever.